Your TV might be lying to you, not because the picture looks bad, but because your ears are missing half the experience. People spend thousands chasing bigger screens, brighter panels, and higher refresh rates and perfect blacks, and then trust paper thin speakers and hidden inside a television that's literally designed to be thin. That's like building a home theater and then listening to it through a phone speaker. Audio is what gives movies scale, games intensity, and music actual presence. And that's where a system like the Samsung Q-Series Soundbar steps in. This isn't about making things louder. Loud is easy. Real audio is about creating space, detailed direction, and impact without needing an entire room covered in speaker wires. The Samsung Q-Series lineup is built around delivering a theater-style experience in a package that fits normal homes and normal setups. And once you understand what it's actually doing behind the scenes, it starts making a lot more sense while people upgrade their audio before upgrading their TV again. The first thing people notice is size versus the output. A soundbar doesn't look intimidating until it sits under a TV and doesn't demand your attention. But the modern Q-Series systems are engineered to spread sound far beyond where the hardware physically exists. Samsung uses multiple dedicated speaker channels across the bar, and depending on the model, wireless subwoofers and upward firing drivers that push audio around the room instead of directly at you. The goal isn't just hearing sound, it's creating the illusion that sound exists everywhere around you. Like when a helicopter moves across a movie scene, when the rain falls overhead, when footsteps move behind the camera angle and your brain starts placing those sounds in the space. That changes the immersion instantly, and one of the biggest technologies helping create that effect is object-based audio support. Instead of treating sound like simple left and right channels, advanced formats place audio objects in a virtual environment. And that means explosions can feel lower and heavier, voices stay anchored to the screen, and ambient effects fill the room more naturally. It's one of those things people don't realize they're missing until they hear it done properly. Another feature that makes the Q series stand out is how it works with compatible Samsung TVs through coordinated audio processing. Instead of muting one set of speakers and replacing them with another, certain setups combine television speakers and soundbar speakers into a more layered soundstage, and the results feel bigger and less concentrated under the screen. Dialogue can become easier to follow while background effects stay spacious, and for people who constantly turn subtitles on because voices disappear during action scenes, improvement in audio separation can make a huge difference. And speaking of dialogue, this is one of the most underrated reasons people buy better audio systems. Not the explosion, not the bass, not the dialogue clarity, or streaming shows especially can have uneven mixing where quiet conversations suddenly become impossible to hear. Then action scenes try to launch your remote across the room, and better sound processing helps separate the speech frequencies so conversations remain clearer without needing constant volume adjustments. Then there's the subwoofer. Bass gets misunderstood because people associate it with the shaking walls and annoying the neighbors, and good bass isn't just power, it's dimension. Bass gives the engines the weight, the drums, the energy, the orchestra scores emotion and cinematic moments and tension, and when implemented correctly, bass doesn't dominate the room, it supports everything else. Wireless subwoofers also make setup dramatically easier because you don't have to run cables across the floor. Place it where it sounds best and let it do its thing. Gaming is another category where people underestimate audio. Modern games are built with directional sound in mind, and you're not only hearing effects, you're gathering information. Enemy movement, environmental changes and details, distant cues, vehicle positioning, and all of that contributes to the gameplay. A stronger audio setup can make environments feel larger and more believable while increasing immersion in a way visual upgrades sometimes can't match. Fast visuals matter, but convincing audio often makes words feel alive, and music matters too. A lot of people think of soundbars as movie accessories, but music playback has become increasingly important. And streaming services now deliver high-quality audio catalogs, and having better speaker separation changes the listening experience. Vocals gain presence, instruments feel less compressed together, and low-end response gives tracks more depth. Instead of background noise, music becomes something that fills a room, and connectivity is another area where these systems evolved. Older home audio setups could feel like engineering projects, multiple remotes, cable confusion, setup menus, compatibility issues. And modern systems aim for the simplicity. HDMI connections reduce the clutter, and wireless integration cuts the cables, and smart devices compatibility allows faster control and switching between content sources. You spend less time configuring and more time actually watching and listening. Setup matters be even greater because hardware becomes frustrating. If daily use is annoying, another interesting advantage is the room adaptability. Every room behaves differently. Hard floors reflect sound, and carpet absorbs it, and open layouts spread the energy differently than enclosed spaces. Audio processing systems increasingly attempt to analyze the environment and adjust output characteristics to improve the consistency. And that means the system isn't always delivering one fixed profile. It's attempting to adapt based on real world placement conditions. Is it perfect? No. Audio system ignores physics completely, but adaptive processing can improve everyday listening without manual tuning. And design matters. Nobody wants a giant black box dominating the entertainment area. Then cleaner profile and modern soundbar makes them easier to integrate into living rooms without turning everything into a dedicated theater setup. You still get visual simplicity with dramatically improving what you hear. And if you're curious about the specification, configuration, model options, detailed specs, or want to compare the versions before buying, check the link in the description to view the product and purchase it over, or explore the full features list and see which setup fits the best space for you. And one question people always ask is whether a soundbar can replace a full surround system. The answer depends on expectation. Dedicated multi-speaker systems still offer incredibly performance when installed properly, but for most people, convenience matters. A Q-Series approach targets a balance between strong immersion and cleaner installation, easier setup, and everyday usability. You get a large percentage of that cinematic feeling without needing to redesign your room or route cables through walls, and that trade-off is exactly why soundbars become so popular. Another thing worth mentioning is future flexibility. Entertainment habits keep changing and streaming platforms evolve. Gaming changes, TVs get larger, audio systems that support modern connectivity standards help extend usefulness over time rather than becoming obsolete after one hardware upgrade. And that long-term usability can matter more than chasing raw specs on paper. And at the end of the day, people remember how entertainment made them feel more than the technical details behind it. Nobody leaves a movie saying, "Wow, the pixel density changed my life." They remember the moments, the soundtrack, the tension, the impact, the atmosphere, and audio creates the emotion in ways people don't always notice until it improves. The Samsung Q-Series Soundbar System is built around closing the gap between seeing content and feeling like you're inside it. And if your current setup feels flat, voices disappear, movies feel smaller than they should, or music just sits in the background, audio might be missing piece. And if you want to check out the current models, compare the features, and view the specifications, or purchase one for your setup, there's a link in the description where you can see the product details and decide which Q-Series option makes the most sense for your room and your budget. We'll see you tomorrow.